funny. The idea of diversity and variety you thought were true get blown up in your face and makes you rethink about the kind of principles that you had and you lived your life based upon. My first experience at college actually was shaped by the international student orientation. A lot of my friends still now are the people I met at the orientation, so be yourself to people at orientation and make friends you won't regret it. So everything seemed colorful and pretty the first weeks of college. What do you mean? I don't have to get up at 5:30 every morning to get ready and catch the school bus. My advisor was telling me, well, you're pretty much set. As I looked at my schedule and realized I only have 5 classes and the earliest started at 9:30. College was great. I even had time to grab Starbucks and look cool as I walked into class. I had my binders, my notebooks, my colored pens, at 7:30 every morning to go swimming and do my makeup and still be early for classes, and sat there pre-organizing my notebook, switching between pens red, purple to blue. Everything the professor said made sense, even too easy. I sat in my neuroscience class thinking, wow, I learned all this in AP Bio with Mrs. Mass. Homework did not exist anymore. In most classes, I only had 3 exams for the semester, and that's all I got graded on. What do you mean I was free at 1 p.m.? I could choose to eat wherever I want, so I felt extra healthy and energized. So I chomped on my quinoa salad at Cosi and enjoyed my free evenings going to movies, going over to friends' dorms, practicing instruments at the College of Music, enjoying my time at parties, meeting new people. I could go to karaoke, play pool, table tennis, watch sports games, or whatever the heck I felt like doing, whenever the heck I felt like it. The freedom I had was insurmountable. And then the real college life started. Turns out, if you stay up until 4 a.m., no, you cannot wake up at 7:30 and go swimming and do your makeup and still be early for class. So I started pushing off exercising, pushing off getting fully ready, and a few weeks after school started, I was dragging myself out of bed 5 minutes before the class that was 15 minutes away, and in my sweatpants and cap, hoping the professor won't take attendance that day. But I'm sure you've heard of that kind of story before. Turns out, even if you stay up until 3 a.m., the only thing being proactive was a small poster you got from orientation that says, be proactive. You cannot stay awake in class with 4 hours of sleep after an exhausting night. Having learned a lot from Mrs. Mass' AP Bio class, I was kind of prideful that after a few weeks I stopped paying attention and I had no idea what the professor was talking about anymore. And I hate to break it to you, but there is no Mr. Kavashian in college. So I cried in my bed in the study lounges, library, and my friends' arms. I've always been a good student in school. Maybe it's the pressure to stay in good academic standing because of the fact that I'm an international student, or maybe it was the emphasis on academics that my parents have put upon me since childhood. But I somehow had always managed to get top marks in school, whether it kept me happy in the process or not. But when college started and I finally felt like I could guide my own life, I thought trying too hard to get an A was an unnecessary, obsessive behavior, and that as long as I was happy and was enjoying myself, it didn't matter what grade I got. Well, that led to an F in my first neuroscience exam. Now, if you know me at all, that is not the kind of grade that Jessica would be happy with. Now, I desperately wish I had homework so I could get a chance to get my grade back up. Having only 3 exams the entire semester was no longer an amazing thing about college. And among the 160 kids in my class, I could barely hear my professor from the back of the room. Perhaps for several of you, something similar will happen in college, but I think for a lot of you, this kind of feeling of betrayal you get from college will come in many different forms, not only in academic, but social life, among friends, against your family that you left behind sometimes, professors, or even in sports. But rest assured, my Asian genes kicked in, and the next thing you know, I was dependent on Monster, and I spent every night before midterms and finals doing nothing but studying for 2.5 weeks. I fully exercised every possible efficient way of writing good essays that I learned while writing for Mrs. McTavish. So yes, I worked hard to get my grades back up. But my life's still not perfect. I started chomping down pieces of flatbread at Cosi instead of my quinoa salad. I still live on chips and tea kettle made ramen, but that ended up forcing me to eat healthy every once in a while, just to get rid of the guilt, and go swimming was entirely unrealistic and was by actually having done those kind of routines. The only way I could have adapted to the foreign style of teaching in college and established new habits and skills of studying was really by leaving all the studying to do until the last few weeks before finals, but actually putting myself into the pressure of absolutely needing to study and finding what method was the most effective and efficient. Although I sound a bit like a nerd talking about academics and all from college, and although I really am a bit of a nerd, I do have a social life, which was drastically different from my social life in high school. But the only thing I would like to say about those aspects is that once you enter college life, as cliche as this might sound, you really have a chance to choose to be whoever you are. The amount of power you have over your own identity and the expression of your own identity is so much more than you can ever imagine in high school. So I would like